Well, we got another video. I changed the name up. I hope you like the name. It's called Reason Versus. And the only reason why I did this is because the YouTube algorithms can't stand my black ass. That's what's really happening here. And I want to tap into that. I want to see how that shit works. But we have another episode basically coming from A Voice of Reason. I think that was the corny ass title. Anyway, so I wanted to address some things. God of War obviously is going to come out for the PC or to the PC in January, and a lot of people are really upset about that. A lot of fans are pissed, PlayStation fans, that it's coming out to the PC, and I just kind of wanted to address this nonsense. I am a fan of PlayStation, just to let you know. I'm pretty sure you already could gather this, but I am a fan of PlayStation. But I'm not bothered by this because I understand, and not to preach or jump on my soapbox or anything of that nature. I get it. With the pandemic, with the evolution of everything right now, it's just not going to happen anymore the way that you wanted it. It's not going to happen anymore. And people need to understand and accept, they need to accept it. That's just basically what's going to happen. So I'll start off with this. A long time ago, Valve and Steam, they tried to make these pre-built, computers, and it didn't work. I forgot what operating system they wanted to have. It didn't work. The reason why it didn't work is because consoles are actually pre-built computers, as we see it now. There's a lot of functionality that kind of matches with what the pre-built computers would do, and for a lot less. So I keep seeing this stuff all the time. This rhetoric about console use is just basically eradicated because they're moving the exclusive content over to the PCs. It's ridiculous. Come back to me when you're ready to pay $2,000 or even $1,500. I'm in the US. I don't know what the fuck the other fucking currency is, to play something along the lines graphically with these games. That's number one. Number two, are you really going to wait for a year or 2 years to play these particular games? You know what I'm saying? So what we have here is the convenience, or I'm sorry, the low price threshold of picking up this console that has really good, graphic qualities, and be able to play these games first on this particular console and without the hassle of drivers or Windows in general. I fucking can't stand the operating system. I'm sorry, I can't do it. You know what I mean? I would never be a PC gamer because of Windows. That's what's really doing it for me. Second reason will be price. I can't do it. So consoles are very convenient. Um, Really, to be honest with you, if you're a gamer, there's many different types of gamers out there as well. There are gamers that just game on PC. There's gamers that just game on cell phones, and then there's console gamers, and they usually don't cross pollinate. So the reason why I brought that up is because everyone has their place and demographic, and they usually you can't get rid of the console portion because of the low price threshold. People could just pick up a console for $400, and then they reset for a generation essentially into a refresh, which was introduced last generation. That's what's happening here. You got these basic, they're what they are pre-built computers. You can watch Netflix. You can do a whole bunch of shit on these consoles at this point in time, and then play games at a pretty decent high caliber graphic settings. You know what I mean? And then now we got graphic settings that you can toggle depending on your desire at this point in time. So why get a console? Well, like I said, the price. The second thing is you get your games first, because Sony is not going to abandon the console because they are the only store on the console. So if you want to buy something when you have the console, your takeaway is this: I'll pay less, but I have to stay in this ecosystem. That's what's happening here. Sony came up with the initiative to start releasing their older games onto the PC, and people are afraid of day and date. That won't happen because it will definitely it will cannibalize their markets. That's exactly what it would do. So we have people that say things of that nature. Um, that's not what the case is. On my just daily browsing on Twitter and just social media in general, I've realized that people were Xbox, and they were making fun of the ponies about their games going to PC. Now, these Xbox will never buy a PlayStation, ever, ever. right? It's very low chance, I should say, that they will buy a PlayStation. So in this particular case, Sony will still get their money by releasing games on the PC. The idiot still buys their games. You know what I mean? So it's business. That's what's boiling down to. It's a business thing. You know what I mean? Um, I actually see what Sony is going to end up doing is probably releasing either exclusive content or things more catered to PC, but not using their existing console IPs. Essentially, Sony is basically trying to make money however way they can. You can see the synergy when they release a movie. They also have controllers into their trailers and things of that nature. But going back to their PC plan, basically the only if you're not going to buy the console, you'll buy the game, and they're going to get money that way. And then on top of it, because console or PC players aren't really um, they're not really exposed to that particular game or those Sony's particular games. Eventually, maybe, well, they'll start picking up the console if they want to play the game earlier or just buy the games on the PC in general. And there's no problem with that. There's no problem with that. I mean, this tribalism shit is retarded. You know you're not going to buy a PC. You know you're not going to buy a PC. Period. And you know it. 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 Stop the cap. Stop the cap. But I do want to also say this, right? Um, Looking at their plans, just beyond Sony's PC plans, I do see Sony. They kept buying studios, and I was thinking like, damn, with the amount of studios that they have, they're going to start to cannibalize each other. There's each studio with just having one platform, and then it hit me. Shout out to Thrash. Um, we were kind of talking about this as well in one of the Twitter Spaces. They could be buying all these studios to exclusively release games on the phones, like mobile, or on PC, to spread out that way. See, what Jim Ryan was saying is that the talent for these studios needs to reach more beyond 20 million. So I see it as you're going to have cell phone games exclusively for cell phones because it works with cell phones. You know what I mean? There's going to be exclusive console games, which again, people are afraid of day and day and all the games going out to PC. That's not going to happen because Little Big Planet won't go. They're only putting their best foot forward when it comes to these games. They make that particular impression. There's some games that just won't go out to PC because it just doesn't make sense. Period. These action open world games will because it makes sense. They're used to that shit. But then they may also release a game for the PC that is exclusive, probably like one of those, I don't know, Valheim, one of those particular games. That's how I see things going. But I'll talk more about this probably on my Saturday's podcast. I think I already spoke a little bit about it in general. I have to think of the subjects, but listen, do yourself a favor, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. All of this shit works and it helps push the video forward on YouTube. It sucks that you just can't win with YouTube unless you get support from everybody else. But I guess it's part of the course, right? Let me know in the comments what you think of this video and peace out. Deuces.